You're watching Kenosha Community Television.
Welcome to Gateway Connection, the program that offers an inside look at the people, programs, and efforts of Gateway Technical College to connect with the communities, people, and industry it serves. Gateway Connection.
And hello, welcome to Gateway Connections. I'm Jayne Herring, the Marketing Director for Gateway Technical College, and we have a program today that's full of interesting things that have been going on at Gateway. We're going to start with learning about the success of a special program that is aimed at health careers and helping students become more successful in their training to get to those health careers. We're going to also spend some time talking with an individual who will tell us about another grant program that is also aimed at helping meet some local employer needs as well as helping train students. But let's begin now with Stacia Thompson. And Stacia is the project director, and I'm going to call it the HPOP program. We have a lot of fun with that because it sounds good. It's HPOG grant. And tell us, first of all, what HPOP stands for.
Well, at the local level, HPOP stands for Health Profession Opportunity Program. We are part of a grant, a federal grant, and at the federal level it's called HPOG, which is Health Profession Opportunity Grant. We came out of the Affordable Care Act funding, and the whole premise was to assist people who may be low income to get a sustainable career, and what better way than in a health career that they'd be able to do that. So it's out of the, like I said, out of the Affordable Care Act, but out of Health and Human Service Division at the federal level.
And you're one of how many schools across the country who have received this?
We're actually one of 32 programs across the country. There are some community-based organizations that have it. There are some workforce development organizations that have it, and then some community and some four-year traditional colleges.
Are you working with all of the health careers, or are there specific ones that have been earmarked?
We've actually supported students in all of them, including some that are at our college service occupations. So not only have we supported students in our allied health division, such as nursing, CNA, physical therapist assistant, health unit coordinator, and all those others, we've also supported students who are completing programs as EMT basic and paramedics.
In those programs, first, tell us what makes you special. I mean, people go through those programs all the time. So what's the value added?
We believe that the value added with us is the personal connection that our coaches, we have what we call HPOP specialists that meet with the students on a monthly and bi-monthly basis. So when a student is new to our program, they have to meet with their specialists. It's mandatory they meet with them twice a month. And what they do when they meet with them is they kind of check in. We have a form that we have the students have their instructors fill out to prove that they're going to class, see what their current grade is, what areas they could use help in, and it's a conversation starter for when they meet with their coach. So they have to do that twice a month when they first start in our program, and then after that first semester, if they are doing well and have over a 2.0, then they go down to meeting once a month with them.
How many students have you been working with in the program over the time period that it's been running at Gateway, and are they getting jobs?
So Gateway was funded in September of 2010, and we actually got students enrolled in May of 2011. The grant required that we serve at least 300 students over the 5-year period. To date, we've served over 700.
Oh my gosh, so you're more than double.
Most definitely. We were required, we've actually hit all of our benchmarks except for one. So we were required to enroll at least 300. We've done that. We were required to have at least 270 complete a program. We've done that. We're actually like at 115% of that goal. As of last week, we actually surpassed our goal of number of students who need to become employed in a healthcare field, which was 257. We're now at 268 who've become employed actually in a healthcare field. So we've surpassed those. What we're working on now is getting our average wage up. So the average wage that we're trying to get to is $15.52 an hour of all the students that become employed. Currently we're at like $12.07, but we know that some of those long-term programs, the students that first started out with us that are in the associate degree program, such as nursing, physical therapist assistant, surgical tech, those that take longer to get through, we know that once those graduate and start becoming employed, that average wage will go up.
Do you do other special things with employers to keep them engaged with your program and be aware of it?
Oh, most definitely. It's actually a requirement of the grant. We actually do, once a semester, we do employer roundtable breakfasts. So we bring the employers in first thing in the morning so they don't have to go into the office and come back out, and we have a breakfast. And typically we'll have a guest speaker speaking about a topic that might be something that's going on specifically to human resources in healthcare. We have the guest speaker, he or she will present a topic, and then we have a roundtable discussion with the employers that are there based on what was presented, and then we have a report out. And what the employers really enjoy is that they can hear from other employers to see that they're having the same issues, or this is what they did to resolve that issue, so they like the feedback from each other. Oh,
that's great. And then you also get more intelligence about what is going on in the healthcare industry, so you can better organize your program.
Exactly.
We're just about out of time, but the one thing I really want to make sure we touch on is that you're really also helping to generate new programs at Gateway Technical College. There are at least 2 that I'm aware of that have really started with HPOP and then will become part of Gateway's regular offerings. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Our most recent one that we're very proud of is the Ophthalmology Tech program. It's a new program. HPOP was able to purchase the equipment to get the program started on our Racine campus. It's an internal certificate. It's actually an add-on to the medical assistant program. So once you've taken some of the prereqs within medical assistant,
which is a one-year technical diploma.
Correct. You can add on these additional courses to become an OpTech assistant at a local optometrist office or ophthalmologist office. And this is the first semester we've actually run the class. The students are enjoying it. The new instructor is enjoying the students. We've actually had an employer contact us and said they'd like to come present to the class and maybe hire some of the students that are going through this first one.
Well, that sounds excellent, and I know Gateway in general is very excited to be able to eventually add that to our regular offerings. So
yes.
Again, so often people don't understand that it not only takes an approval process to get a program into a college, but it also takes equipment, because so much of what we do is hands-on. Well, again, I know Gateway is very grateful to the HPOG grant and to all of your leadership with the HPOG program. So thank you for joining us today and giving us a good status update.
Thank you.
We have been talking with Stacia Thompson, who is the project director for HPOP, and we'll be back with more of Gateway Connections right after this.
Welcome back to Gateway Connection. I'm Dawn Maravella, and today we're joined by Manoj Babu, who is our Associate Dean of Business. Manoj, thanks for coming.
Sure, glad to be here.
He's going to talk to us today about the new marketing program, which is a bridge program. Manoj, can you tell us a little bit about bridge program?
Sure, I would love to tell, and actually I'm very excited about this program. It's something that that we've created, and it's basically to capture, or not so much capture, but guide and direct a group of our students that often get overlooked, and this is our ABE, or Adult Basic Education, or our ELL group, the English Learner Language group. So this is two different groups, but it's one program. And our goal is to provide a simple, clear, easy path into our business department. Now, we focused on marketing and entrepreneurship as a jump in. And as I said, this is a group of individuals who have gone through all the different stages of ABE and ELL, have graduated, and now they're looking for a different path or direction to go. And what this bridge program offers them is a clear path to go into, a clear set of classes to take, which then jump into our associate degree program in marketing and entrepreneurship.
Now, why was this program created specifically for the English language learners and for adult basic education?
Well, our studies have shown, or our numbers have shown, that once they do graduate from ABE or ELL, that they end up dropping out, and that's not that's not a good for any program, but primarily for this group. And I think they're dropping out, and not I think I've talked to a lot of them. They're dropping out because there's not a clear direction to go, and sometimes a lot of these individuals take on education, and it might be a very daunting task to take on education, to walk in and say, what is your interest? And probably no one's ever sat down with them and asked them that before. So now it's up to them to decide what they're interested in. And in talking to a lot of the group, I find out that it's either their own small business, entrepreneurship, or marketing that comes into play here. So with these 3 classes, and our bridge program bridges into selling principles and a couple other marketing classes, what happens is they're able to take these classes, and they don't go to waste. These classes become a jumpstart into our associate's degree program. So it's a pretty logical way to do it. A lot of us do it on a regular basis, but I think with the ABELL group, we give them more support and special guidance.
And these classes are for credit then?
These are for credit. They're each 3 credits apiece, so the total, you can take the first 3, which gives you an internal certificate in marketing, which is great. Ideally, what would happen is those 9 credits, 3 credits apiece, would then funnel into our entire associate's degree program. So it's not like it's going to go to waste. And the bridge program is primarily just that. It's a bridge from where you are to the marketing degree, or the entrepreneurship degree, or however you see it. It's a guided path. It tells you exactly when to take it, what to take. The first semester you take 1 class, and the second semester you take 2 classes.
Okay.
And as I said, it's a great way for individuals that might not otherwise know where to go, what direction to take once they have their GED, or they get through level 6 of ABELL. Now what? The question is, now what, right? What are you going to do with your life now? Now that you've graduated, now that you've done this, you can't stop. You got to keep going. And this is a perfect way to bring it into the associates and move in the associates into a bachelor's and even further. The sky's the limit for anybody nowadays in education.
Yes. Some of the requirements in terms of entering this bridge program in marketing, do they have to have the GED, have that completed? Do they have to finish level 6 of ELL? Or
They
do.
They do.
Okay.
They do. They have to have the GED completed, or level 6, or and the reason we do that is because once they get admitted or accepted into Gateway, they can declare majors, and that's where financial aid kicks in, or financial aid comes into play.
I see.
So, and it would make things a lot smoother. Obviously, we can bring them in, but it just wouldn't be fair to the student. It wouldn't be fair to the actual program, the HSED program that they're in. They need to complete it and then come in. They'll be a much stronger student and much more aware of their expectations in class.
Wow, wonderful. What sorts of skills can someone expect to learn through this bridge program?
So the marketing degree comes in with the whole, the internal certificate comes in with a whole set of skills on either marketing a product, marketing their personal business. And what I found out is that a lot of the individuals in AB and ELL have started their own personal business.
Really?
But
Yes.
now it's just a matter of making it go, or setting up a specific website, or starting off with marketing of some sort to bring it out to the public. So this is a great way to start that. If you have your own business, taking these classes, it'll really propel you into thinking, what consumers are thinking. And you know, as I said, the classes don't go to waste. They flow into a larger degree program. And it's you know, I really see this bridge program taking off and doing wonders for this large group of individuals.
Oh, absolutely.
We have well over 300-400 ABE ELL graduates.
Wow.
So if we can capture even 10 to 15% at first and get them into, you know, we're piloting in the marketing program, but we wouldn't be limited to just that. You can be in the business management, the accounting,
right.
you know, graphics. So these are various programs that are out there that have high-paying jobs that they can funnel into and start off with internal certificates and move into an associate's degree. And as I said, after that move into you know, a Bachelor of Science and then a Master's or a PhD. You know, nothing should be restricted or limited.
Right. Are the classes during the day? Are they in the evening? And what is the location of these classes?
We're starting it in Kenosha. They will be in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
As we have discussed, there's also the support end of it. And the support end is usually like a 2-hour period before class starts.
Oh, I see.
So if a class starts, if the class time is from 6 to 9 on Tuesdays, the support end would be a 5 to 6 before class starts, and then on a Thursday for 3 to 5. I don't know the specific times, but it's more support. So if an individual comes into class and they're not quite sure how the marketing diagram works, or they're not quite sure about theory, they can talk to this support group and work out how this works out.
Wonderful.
Or work out how to understand it and conceptualize it.
And for our last few seconds, can you tell us a little bit about how someone can go about enrolling in this program if they're interested?
Sure. They can either contact myself. I'll be more than happy to walk them through the whole process.
Wonderful.
I'm on the Gateway website. Hopefully there's not another Manoj Babu at Gateway.
I don't think so. You're the only one.
Or they can call our marketing faculty. Our dean of education is Cindine Jennings. She's the one in charge of the whole process. Her and I work together really well. Or you can go straight to the faculty itself. We have flyers going out to all sorts of individuals. I'm sure we can get phone numbers up. Please feel free to contact me at any time, or we can go talk straight to the faculty or the support group.
When does it start?
It starts in the fall.
Okay.
So we have plenty of time, but not really plenty of time. That type of thing, you know. So the more you put off, you know, it's better if we get started, get all the paperwork done, and then get you a book and just start doing stuff on your own, getting familiar with it, and moving on from there.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us today.
This is great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
We've been talking to Manoj Babu, who's the Associate Dean of Business, and he's been talking to us about the marketing program, the Bridge program. Please stay tuned for more Gateway Connection.
Welcome back to Gateway Connections, and my guest now is Beverly Frazier, who is the Associate Dean of our MET Division, Manufacturing and Engineering Technology. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jane.
You have an exciting opportunity through a statewide technical college grant provided to us, and we're going to talk about the grant in just a couple of moments. But the Gateway Technical College version of how we're using the grant is the creation of a tool and die program. Right. We're going to take a moment with your instructor, Jeremy Dutton, and with a produced video to find out more about the program, and then I'll talk with you more about the grant and the opportunity for people to participate.
Great.
So now you're going up 10,000s, boom, you're at 10,000s. This is locked. Do your feet and where you want to go.
Gateway Technical College's Tool and Die program is an exciting way for individuals to enter the skilled trades. In as little as 2 semesters, you can earn your diploma and be ready to enter the workforce as a tool and die technician.
Gateway just recently started up a tool and die diploma program. It's 2 semesters long, and ideally there's a couple of different directions you can go. Once you complete the diploma program, you're going to start as an entry-level tool and die maker, and that could be working with a full tool maker, or maybe taking apart the dies. They might give you some parts to go make on a manual machine, maybe check some parts. You might be working in the stamping room, the press room, setting up the dies. A lot of different avenues to go to.
Tool and die technicians are highly skilled tradesmen who use precision equipment and techniques to build and repair dies for the stamping and mold making industry. Through the use of advanced machining skills and applied mathematics, tool and die makers create dies, molds, jigs, fixtures, and cutting tools.
Keep in mind, this is where you want to start your first on your mill. You want to take that to square it up on the mill. Tool and die person is anywhere from an entry-level person to a highly skilled journeyman. In our curriculum courses, we have 2 big full-time classes that are all manual machining. Eventually, when you get through all the knowledge of how the machines work, you're going to be on machines a lot. We are going to be making dies and fixtures in here, and then we also go into CNCs and talk about how to set them up, even program them, do some basic programming. So when we want to prepare you for when you go to the workforce, you have a great understanding of what the machines are, so you can walk in any company and get an entry-level position.
Students enrolled in Gateway's Tool and Die program on a full-time basis can earn their diploma in 2 semesters. New classes are offered in the spring, summer, and fall semesters.
With the multiple starts, spring, summer, fall, we're trying to do morning starts and nighttime starts, so you can do first semester in the morning and some first semester in the afternoon, or at least give you a taste of that to get you started. But we're trying to accommodate the students as much as possible.
The schedule allows me to work and go to school. I work on the weekends and on the days I have off, and come to school on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
In the event that some of my classes do have problems with work schedule, I can always go to Kenosha, or I can always go to Elkhorn. So they have other colleges that will fit my time period.
The Tool and Die Technician program at Gateway features brand new industry equivalent machinery and equipment.
They have a wide assortment of machines that we would use in regular in job settings.
The Tool and Die Lab allows students to work with well-maintained precision machine tools, including vertical milling machines, engine lathes, and surface grinders, as well as specialty machinery essential to tool and die makers.
We get you acquainted with the book work, then we bring you into the labs, whether it's a CNC lab or the manual machine lab, and we discuss, we show you the machines, we introduce the machines, we demonstrate the machines, we talk about them, and we go through and we get you hands-on. And the main thing about this program is get through the book work, make sure you understand what's going on, show you the hands-on, because industry is all hands-on.
One of my favorite classes is CNC operation. It's working with the 5-way CNC, which is 5 axes.
You got the hands-on experience, you got the teaching, which is these guys know what they're doing. They've been in the business for a long time, so it's very helpful.
Upon graduation of the entry-level Tool and Die program, students will be ready to join the workforce with a healthy number of options. They will be qualified to become a tool and die apprentice, tool room machinist, tool grinder, CNC machinist, and machining inspector.
A lot of these companies, this isn't the type of career you go into and you're going to be changing careers in 3 to 5 years. This is a 25-year out, 30-year, you're in this, you make a great team effort, these companies are really good, you get great benefits. This fast track program at Gateway, in 2 semesters, you have a full-time job.
Graduates are recommended to continue to pursue further training or education in the desired field of choice, which could be in the form of a state apprenticeship.
If you get into a company that does a state indenture apprenticeship, that's going to be a great feed-in also, because part of the classes you took through this diploma will actually feed into the apprenticeship and credit you towards that apprenticeship. So you have a little bit of that school portion done to the apprenticeship. Again, the more knowledge you gain, the better off you're going to be, the higher dollar you'll be able to get to. But it's just a great fast-track program. Get out in the workforce. A lot of people need jobs, and you can really fill those jobs or those applications really fast.
If you would like to learn more about Gateway's Tool and Die program, please go to gtc.edu/tool-and-die-technician.
It sounds like a great opportunity and a great career. And I would imagine you're looking for a certain type of student to qualify for this program.
Well, we look for students who are really interested in working with their hands, of course, because it's all working with your hands. It's developing, looking at the blueprints and developing tools a lot of times from the sketches or the blueprints. And it's a lot of precision measurement, so they have to have some good math skills, and it was one of the reasons why we offer a really good class in math the first semester.
And people should not necessarily be scared off from it. You have instructors who really help them through the math, but maybe an affinity for math.
Well, we do.
And precision.
Yes. We stress the precision, and we teach them what they need to know with our math classes, and then we try to get those teachers to bring in the practical side with some of the scenarios that the instructor might be working on in the class that they'll actually work on when they get out into the field and have a job in that area.
And I know you always work very closely with employers in all of Gateway programs to assess what the skill set is that they require, as well as making sure that there are jobs out there, which I understand, even though perhaps tool and die isn't as popular across the nation, here in southeastern Wisconsin, there's been great demand.
Well, there's actually a lot of jobs everywhere, and people don't seem to understand that, you know, they may not be able to get it in their backyard. They may have to go to Milwaukee, they may have to go to Chicago, or it may be in their backyard at that small shop that mom and pop started 25 years ago. But tool and die is not going away. It is a very necessary position, and like Jeremy said in the video, they pretty much keep that job 25, 30 years. And the income gets higher and higher each year as you become more and more experienced, usually.
Yeah, because I think that wage that was shown was kind of an average starting wage,
right,
not end of career wage.
Well, for instance, the online job status that comes from our Bureau of Labor Statistics states that there is possibly 33,700 jobs available throughout our nation. And most of those jobs, the average income, the average hourly rate is $18.99 to start. So it's a little bit lower right now, but as people start to retire, and that's why we decided to apply for this grant, we were told in our area there will be around 60 jobs available within the next 3 years.
And that's huge.
It's huge.
Now you have some, thanks to the grant, some extra incentives that will assist people coming into this one particular program of tool and die.
Right. It's an unknown secret.
Well, let's
let the secret out. Yeah. We are able, because it is a DOL TAC grant, through the WTCS system, and it's a consortium Advanced Wisconsin, it is on the list that we can suppress the tuition, which means, just like we would with business and industry, if they're having a class through the Gateway Technical College, the business is paying for it. So in this instance, the grant is paying for it. So our students can come, in a sense, tuition free.
Can't beat that. Now they have to have a commitment to making it through all of the classes, I'm sure, and there's some book costs perhaps?
There is a book cost, and there may be some fees. At one point, as we sustain this in the future, we're even thinking that we possibly would require a laptop, and all of our books would be e-books that they could possibly keep for years and years and years and carry their laptop around for something they may have forgotten that's right there in front of them that they learned in the training.
And quite often that's covered through financial aid,
exactly,
which is excellent. So they register through Student Services or online through WebAdvisor like any other program?
Just like any other program. It will be coded a little bit different, so once they start the class with the instructor, or we get notice from Student Services that they're starting, there's a different code, a G code we'll say, that goes on their tuition, and it's wiped.
I think that we'll leave it right at that. We don't mind wiped
I'm
tuition.
Thinking I might take it.
Oh, I know. There's so many exciting careers, if only. We thank you for joining us today. We've been talking with Beverly Frazier, who is Associate Dean of our MET Division at Gateway Technical College, and we thank you for joining us today on Gateway Connection.